Good afternoon. Welcome to the final video, or the final dedicated video to the orchard transformation. As I have said previously, I will always be sharing the orchard with you. I will be sharing all of its progress, all the growth, all the changes in coming videos. But I'm hoping that in today's video, we will pretty much have finished the full transformation. It is a lot to get done. There is a lot of little final, just little bits and pieces that need to be done. So this video will actually go over 2 days. What I'm wanting to do, we're just going to kind of get straight into it. I'm not going to go over all the stuff that we're going to be doing in this video. There is going to be a lot of it, but I promise I will end this video with a full proper orchard tour. I will put the photos on screen of what it looked like beforehand so that you can really see the before and afters. I will definitely do all of that. But we're going to get stuck in now. What I'm hoping to do today, and you can probably hear all that noise, we're just clearing that little pile of debris that was down in the orchard. And then the other thing that I'm wanting to do today is get the bark down on the floor so that I can see tomorrow when we head back to the landscape supply centre, I can see how many more bags we need. So that is the plan of action. I'm going to prop you up somewhere and we're going to get stuck straight into it. So that is the first sort of 5 bags of tan bark down. Looks so nice with the tan bark on. Just gives a lot more structure, I think, to the space, and obviously it's going to really help the fruit trees, particularly on this side here, retain a lot of the water and that. And I'm thinking, so Mum cleared this area here of all of that sort of garden rubbish that we had. I am thinking about putting blueberries there. I've already got a blueberry bush here, and I have been doing a lot of research on Atherton raspberries, and I think I'm going to get, they're sort of like a native Australian raspberry and they have a really low chill requirement. So I might make this little area here kind of the berry corner, and I think it'd be nice to have sort of all the fruit together. You know, all your mandarin, all your citrus, your peach tree, and then having all your berries. It's all in one place then, and yeah, easy to access, easy to harvest, all of that. So I might just spend a couple of moments, and I might actually move the blueberry that I already have down here, and I might grab another sort of large barrel pot for the native raspberry. I haven't ordered it yet, but I am pretty sure I'm going to. So I'm just going to place those, and I'm keen to see what they look like. But that hoop bark came up really well, and it's actually surprisingly really easy to walk on. All right, I'm going to go grab those pots and we'll see what it looks like in that corner. So we are done for today. The hoop bark is down and it is quite easy to walk on. It's still obviously a little bit crunchy, so I think the more we walk on it, the better it will get. But hopefully that's just going to cover that red dirt, and that way we're not going to be tracking it all through the garden. But it is actually looking really nice down here. Probably need another 4 or 5 bags, I think, just to kind of do just around these areas. I think that'll be really nice. And then we've got this little walkway here, just down here, and then I think in this corner, so this will all have chip bark, this will be the berries. So I want to do a native Atherton raspberry in here, and then that is my sunshine blue blueberry, and I want to get a second one of those here. And I think that's kind of going to be the main thing. I did do, not for now obviously, but I did do a little bit of research on dwarf apple trees and avocados, and I'm kind of eyeing this spot here potentially in the future for maybe a dwarf apple tree, but that'll be in a couple of months' time. They're not in season, you can't buy them at the moment. So that is going to be it now. I'm going to sign off for today, but tomorrow morning we'll pretty much we'll head out quite early and we're going to head to the landscape supply store. There's a few bits and pieces that I'd like to pick up, and we just want to get some more mulch. So again, I'll bring you along with me like I did last time, and we will finish the orchard off tomorrow. Oh, I can't believe it. It's gone in some ways quick, and then in other ways not at all. It's been a couple of months. It's been so much hard work, and I've had so much support in doing this, which I'm very, very, very grateful for. But it has been so worth it. This space is just looking spectacular, and for it to be a productive space, it's probably going to take, I'd say, a good year for everything to kind of recover and probably flush out before I'm getting, you know, regular fruit or anything like that. But in the meantime, it is a very, very pretty space. All right, well, I'm going to see you in the morning. For you, it'll only be a couple of seconds, but I will see you tomorrow morning. Good morning. Well, we have had quite the little rain shower this morning, which I'm sure the plants are very, very thankful for. Oh, you can even see my little cut flower seedlings from here. I cannot remember where I ended up leaving you yesterday, whether these pots were down here or not. They are down there for the berries that are soon to be coming, and the sunshine blueberry is just this one here. I just think it's best, maybe not best, I think what I would like to do is keep all of the fruits as best as I can in one area. So this is sort of the orchard. We'll try and keep all the fruits, all the fruit trees, the berries in one kind of place. But the bark actually looks like it's held up quite well with the rain. I mean, it wasn't a huge amount of rain, but still a nice shower. I'm obviously up. I am dressed, and I'm going to grab Mum, and we're going to head to the garden centre. There are a couple of pieces that I want to pick up, and there are a couple of things I want to pick up for, at the moment, a bit of a secret project that I will be doing with you upon completion of the orchard. We will actually be starting another large scale project, actually in an area of the garden you have never seen before. I've never actually shown you. So we'll definitely be doing that together in the coming weeks. But I wanted to pick up a few things. When we were at the landscape supply store the other week, I sort of eyed a few things that I think would be brilliant for that project. So I want to pick those up today while we're there, but I also want to get some additional bark. Mum thinks that, so the bark that we laid yesterday down here, this is hoop bark. So it's quite sort of, I mean, as you can see, they're larger pieces of bark. They're a bit more grippy, but she thinks we should not get additional hoop bark. We should also try and get a finer kind of chip bark and kind of layer that over, and then kind of continue that down here. This is a bit that gets the land kind of flattens out a little, not flattens, but the incline sort of decreases a little bit here before sort of going on again. So you may pick up some different bark today. As you can tell by the sounds, we have arrived at the landscape centre, and we're just checking to see what our bark options are. Mum doesn't like that one. So So we have selected the cypress mulch. I will show you that when we get home. They're just bagging it up for us, but there are a few little pots and bits here that we're wanting to pick up. We like this one here. I want this pillar for in the orchard, and I think that that colorway would match the statue that we have in there, the little sort of magical girl with her skirt, the petal skirt. That color I think would go so well. So we want that, and then I really like, but you probably see a little bit better over here, I like this pot here. I've got some plants in mind for them, so I'm going to pop you down, and I'm going to try and slowly carry all of these to the car. I'm so excited. So this one here and this one here are kind of the secret project that you will see in coming weeks and such, but oh, so exciting. Okay, pots and pillars secured. I've got the other little pot in the back seat. We're just going to close up the boot now and then drive over to where this cypress mulch is, which is what that they are doing over there. That is the cypress mulch. All right, all of the cypress mulch is in, as well as the pots. I don't know if you can hear, but someone's chicken is laying an egg at the moment. The sounds of the countryside. So we're just going to try and unload all of this, and then we are going to have to pop out again to go and get the soil and one of the last sort of pots that we're going to need. So wish us luck unloading all this as quickly as possible. So we have arrived at the garden centre. I'm just picking up some garden soil and some potting mix. All right. We have arrived at the third garden centre of the day. We are on a mission. So because we live in the countryside, everything kind of keeps country hours. So, and it is actually the weekend, so everything will be closed tomorrow, and then everything closes around lunchtime on a Saturday. So we're racing around getting all the bits and bobs we need. But if you watched Friday's video, you will know that we needed a few more of the Blew My Mind, just to fill in that little gap there. So they've got them here. So we're just going to pick up a few of these, as well as a few other things. Okay, we have the Blew My Mind in the trolley. And we came to get some pots. There's that one there, but it's a bit dirty. Oh, is this one here? Last one. Yep. We came to get these pots, and I want to repot the rose that's on just off the sun deck there, and I'm pretty sure this is the size. It's the 50 by 33.
I thought it was 52.
Well, I don't know, but that's the size that it says on there. Hold on. I'll get my tape measure out and measure.
Well, that's all they got, so you don't really have a big choice this week.
No.
Unless we get another sort of one.
I do really like them though. Alright, I'm going to get my tape measure out and just measure this pot here and see if it's the one that we need. So we picked up the very, very last of the Lucinda pots. They're such a pretty pot. And as I said, I'm wanting to kind of pot on the roses off the sun deck. So weighs an absolute ton. But we needed that, we've got that, and then we're hoping that they've got rose potting mix as well. And then that's all we needed here. So we're going to head to the potting mix area and see if they've got any in stock. How gorgeous are these? They're lady's slipper. Isn't that so pretty? It's a shade-loving plant. Very unusual. I like that. And they also have it in the sort of deeper purple colour. That's very pretty. Well, across one landscape supply store and 2 garden centres, we managed to collect all the little bits and pieces that we needed for all the upcoming projects. So quite the quest this morning, but we have completed it. It is a little bit sort of rainy, but the sun seems to be trying to come out now, so hopefully we won't have rain for the rest of today because I am keen, as you know, to get this orchard all finished off and looking beautiful. So I think I might just put on some different shoes to head down there, and then what we might do is spread the mulch. Oh no, actually we might place this first. I think we'll place that first, and then we'll get all the mulch spread out, and I want to do the lights with you, and I want to talk you through the berry pots that I put down there, and then we will basically be done. I cannot believe it, but let's get going. So I've placed the last stepping stone that we had, the spare one that we didn't need for the step project. I'm just putting it here. This is actually quite a wide garden bed. And at the back you can see that's where the yellow Banksia rose is. And I think it would be nice to have a stepping stone here near the peach tree that you can kind of step on and stand on to get to the yellow rose in case we need to do deadheading and that. And if in future I decide to get an apple tree, I'm thinking the apple tree would go sort of here. And so this stepping stone would just be very beneficial for the peach tree, but also the apple tree and the rose at the back. So just going to try and level that out a little bit just so it's sitting better. And then I might pop up and grab the pillar and we might place that next. And with the rain that we had this morning, you can see the little enchanted girl has got her first little bit of water. Not been putting water in it at the moment while we've been getting everything set up. But yeah, look, her first little amount of water. Gosh, she's very pretty. What else has happened in here? Flowers finally come up. They are doing so well. I cannot believe it. And I don't know if you can see in the back here, already some of the back seedlings are coming up. It's so quick, and like all over here, these ones are all coming up. Can you see them there, little sprouts? So yes, while this is the last sort of transformation video, we will no doubt be spending a fair amount of time out here in the orchard, hopefully, you know, in future harvesting things and just planting new things out. I'll give you sort of health updates on how everything is going after all the replanting. We're doing cut flowers. Yeah. Anywho, I'm going to go grab that pillar and let's get that positioned. So that is where we have decided to put the pillar, and you can see Mum has her leveler out. Mum likes everything to be very level. So I'm going to leave her there to level that, and I've just got these solar lights. So let's go sit down and get these set up. So I'm just sitting here on the patio on one of the rocking chairs in front of the hyacinth bulbs. Look at the bees. They are obsessed. Had I known that these hyacinth bulbs would work so well and that the bees would love them so much, I would have planted so many more. So definitely, I've already put the reminder in for next year to pick up quite a number of like packets of these bulbs. And then I think I could do like a really nice little display of like maybe 4 or 5 pots on the patio and inside, and just, I mean, even inside makes me a little bit sad because the bees obviously love them so much. Anyway, I am here to set up these solar lights. So I purchased these just from the sort of garden centre. These are the ones that I got. I sort of find that they do work. Gosh, if the camera will, there we go. That they do work. They probably just, you probably get a good 12 months out of them and then they stop working. They're relatively cheap. I think I paid like $8 for one. So I just thought, yeah, we'll start with these ones and just see how it goes. I mean, I don't know if you can see there, but the battery must be fully charged before first time use. To charge, remove pull tag and place the light in direct sunlight for 36 to 48 hours. Now, we're already at lunchtime now, so they're probably not going to get a full charge before nighttime. Also, particularly because it's quite cloudy today. But let's get them set up and placed, and then we'll just kind of let them do their thing. Hopefully they'll light up tonight and I'll be able to show you that. But for now, let's just get them assembled. I'm just going to pop you down and swap hands. So on the bottom you can see that they've got these little points, and what they've done is just sort of popped them into the base. So I'm just pulling that out and then spinning it around and popping it back in. This is just the spike that will go into the ground. Gosh, it's very hard to do one-handed. There we go. So that is what they look like. I've got two to straddle either side of the path. And then I'm just going to pull this sort of film off, as it says to do. So obviously this is the solar panel on the top. And then these tops come off. And can you see the little tab here? So this just needs to be pulled out. There we go. And you can see it's already lit up. Can you, hopefully the camera's picking that up. Can you see? So it's on my leg at the moment, and that's why it's thinking it's dark. So if I take it off, the light turns off, on. So brilliant. So hopefully they will light up this afternoon, and this evening I should say. And I will be able to show you that later tonight. Oh, I'm so excited. I think they're gonna look great. So I'm just gonna do the same thing to the other one, and then let's go and place them on either side of the path. Okay, so we have, oh, excuse the gardening gloves, them here and here, just on either side of the entrance. I will give you a little look tonight once they actually light up, but I think they're very sweet there. Just behind Nigel. And then Mum has finished leveling, and then down here we have the pillar. So she needs a good clean, but I think the tone of that pillar matches this statue. Like, it's like they were made to go together, the pillar and the statue. They look so nice. It just kind of needs, it's quite dusty as well. I had to pick it up to carry it, and it's quite
turned around a bit.
What do you mean? So it's not flush?
No, the top is like that way, and it should be like more straighter to me.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But we'll have a little play for that. But I think that that's just going to be handy to have in this orchard area. Just be able to put things on. You could sit on it if you really wanted to. We could put, like, display something nice on it. I can already tell Mum's probably thinking about putting a pot with plants on it. But yeah, I think it'll just be a really great addition. So that is that. And then we're basically going to get going with the mulching now. So I might kind of prop you up somewhere and pop you on a time lapse while we get that done. Well, there you have it. Orchard is done. I'm speechless. I'm absolutely speechless. It has been probably, I think, what are we up to, like a month and a half of fairly consistent hard work in here, but it is looking just magical, absolutely spectacular. I definitely want to go and get like a wet rag, and just clean down this pillar because it's very dirty. But I am not going to give you a tour now. I think with the sun how it is, I think it's quite difficult for you to see. So I might come back out later this afternoon once this area is in shade, and I will give you the final tour. As I said earlier, I will pop pictures on screen as to how it looked at the very beginning, so you can kind of see the before and after. But oh, I cannot believe it. All right, I will speak to you a little bit later on. Well, it is a few hours later, The sun has pretty much set now, and so I thought I would come out and give you the tour of the transformed mini orchard. So, as I said earlier, this kind of initial transformation is now done, but the space is going to continue to evolve and change and grow over the coming weeks, I'm sure. Particularly, as I said, as I'm already eyeing an avocado, an apple tree, another blueberry, and some raspberries. So there's going to definitely be a lot of change and growth and evolution in this space. And I hope you will join me for that. I do also just want to say that, if you've been here through this entire journey of this mini orchard and you've watched all of the episodes and you have subscribed, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It's been such a joy for me to share this experience with you. It's definitely been a journey. It has been a lot of hard work, but it's also been such an incredible time, so much fun, such a learning experience. The amount of just research and effort and, again, hard work that has gone into this has just been crazy. I have had help, as you all know. I had Russ come and help and transplant the fruit trees. I had the gentleman from the irrigation company come and put all the irrigation in. And of course, Mum has been here every step of the way. My mum is definitely a green thumb. Pretty much most of the gardening knowledge that I have is from her. She loves to garden. She loves her gardens. And so I get a lot of, knowledge and inspiration from her. So I'm unbelievably lucky to have her. And so this is the current state. Just what a transformation. I was actually looking back at the photos that I took right at the beginning. So I'm going to put them on screen now. I'm going to just stand pretty much where I took that first shot. So on the screen now, you should see the photo that I took in part 1 of this series. And then I will put on screen, I think I was standing kind of here, the second photo that I took of this space. And just look at that transformation. Isn't that incredible? Is that not the most incredible thing? In a matter of, it's been 6 weeks, which is not super quick, but it's not like I've been doing this every day. I do have a job and I work and things, so I've only been able to do this when I get a chance to. But it has definitely been a labor of love, and I am so unbelievably excited and happy with how it has turned out. To have gone from like a unloved, unused space in my cottage garden to this, basically a little mini fruit tree orchard with a cut flower garden, gorgeous flowers through here, lavender, wild roses, lots of incredible blooms for the pollinators. Hopefully very soon, lots of prolific berries, maybe some apples, some citrus. Anyway, there aren't the words to express what an experience this has been. I think if you're somebody who gardens and who enjoys gardening as much as I do and Mum does, you'll know what I'm saying when I say to see a transformation like this and to see a space come to life like this has. That just, people always say, sets your heart on, sets your soul on fire. It's brought me so much joy and so much happiness, and I am thrilled that I was able to document all of this, that I was able to share it with you, but also so I can watch it back. Obviously this space will grow and, as I've said, change over the coming months and years, and to be able to go back and watch part 1 where it was just bare dirt, nothing here at all, and then see this come to life is so incredible. I'm so pleased that I filmed it. I'm so pleased that I was able to share it. And again, thank you so much for joining me throughout this entire journey. I really hope you have enjoyed spending the time with me and with Mum throughout this whole thing. I hope that it's inspired you a little bit. And even if it hasn't, even if you're not a gardener, I know often I'll watch things like this and it's just comforting. It's a bit of fun. It's an easy watch. It's comforting in a world that's sometimes a little bit crazy. And so I hope that this entire series, and I hope my entire channel brings that for you, brings that comfort, brings easy watching. You know, if you've had a stressful or a busy day or you're having a tough time, knowing that you can just kind of turn on my channel and watch something that's going to be easy and relatively happy and, you know, hopefully successful and triumphant. Yeah, I hope that brings you all the feels. So yeah, this is kind of the bird's eye view of it all. Unbelievable. So unbelievable. I cannot wait to share just the changes that are to come and to see what it's going to look like even for myself, like in 4 months time, what will this look like? And again, being able to look back on these videos and see what it looks like now to what it's going to look like in 4 months, I think that's going to be really fascinating. So let's head on down and let's give you a little bit of a tour around. So let's start here at the entry into the orchard. So you'll remember in the very first video, this was actually an entire garden bed. So there were plants all through here and we rehomed the plants that were here and then popped in all of these stepping stones to kind of mark the entrance. We also planted in like these flowers, the ones on this side and the little ground cover here. We try to obviously like keep as many plants as possible. Obviously the Temple Bells is just in a league of her own. She's sensational. And of course we added little Nigel at the entrance, as well as the gorgeous solar lights that we did in today's video. I will come back out later on tonight once they have lit up and I'll give you a couple of clips of that as well, just so you can kind of see it all lit up. But this is the wonderful, whimsical and kind of wild entrance into the orchard and I absolutely love it. It makes me so happy and I love that it is kind of wild, that the plants are still here, and I mean obviously as they grow in as well it will kind of almost hide it a little bit more. And I mean this night jasmine as well kind of got caught back, and I will say the night jasmine, if we just start to make our way in, I intend to fully keep the night jasmine at this height because it has created a natural kind of balustrade to the stairs. So coming in, so again we've got the little lights there, and then coming in, Mum very, very cleverly created this little kind of stairwell down because the orchard is actually on a slope. So the property kind of slopes away here, which is brilliant for drainage purposes, but can be a little bit difficult when you're walking around. So we've created a few little steps there. So we'll head on down. And as you saw in today's video, all of the mulch and the chip bark went down. So we had the original hoop mulch, and then today we added the, so originally it was the hoop bark was the first kind of layer, which was that thicker bark that provided all of the grip. And then today we added the cedar mulch on top. The smell of the cedar wood is actually very beautiful. And that kind of just has fully covered that red dirt that we had here originally. So we're going to start in this corner here. I'm not going to talk through every single plant. If you've been following along, you will know them all by now. But I kind of just want to talk through each little space. So again, you saw us pop in the sandstone rock borders here. And I mean, I cannot forget to mention here the isolated valve to the ever important irrigation. Now I did forget actually in last week's, in the previous part video, I think part 5, when I was going through the irrigation with you, I did tell you that I was going to turn the irrigation on and kind of show you what it looked like, and I forgot to do that, so I do apologize, but we're going to do that now. That's why I'm out here quite late. We're going to be putting the irrigation on for the period of time, so you'll be able to see that working. But yeah, so this was sort of one of the first little beds to come through with like the lavender and all the flowers. These ones here will also flower. They're all kind of a ground cover, so eventually they'll kind of mattify this area with, so it'll be a really pretty sort of green kind of coverage here around this lavender and the Washington navel orange. So this is one of the navel oranges that really kind of took a hit. It had quite a significant amount of leaf fall from the trauma of being transplanted. It does seem to have slowed down now over the last couple of weeks, and it is actually looking very healthy. So we do have new growth starting in a couple of little areas, so I'm confident that over the next sort of few more weeks it will make a full recovery. I'll definitely be starting up the fertilizing and all of that again, and just making sure that they are completely settled and happy. So that is this bed here. I have to say I'm loving the mulch. I think that the mulch really kind of tied everything together and kind of completed the feel of the orchard. The other thing that I will sort of say with irrigation, which you will see when I put it on, so there is one little irrigation point here, and that kind of does all of these flowering plants, but each of the fruit trees also have their own little tiny emitter. I will show you one later on when we're a little bit closer. So yeah, we've got the navel orange, then we have the brand new little Washington navel orange there, so you can see she is in bloom at the moment. I do think she's a bit too small to actually hold fruit, but we will see. She is definitely trying. You can see the little oranges here, sort of all through here starting up. I don't think that she'll be able to hold that fruit. I'd say it will just drop off, but that is the second Washington navel. Now, the lemon tree is the one that's concerning me the most at the moment. It has been a couple of weeks and its leaves are still really quite drooped down, as you can see. It didn't experience anywhere near the leaf fall that the navel oranges did, but its leaves have just drooped and they've not kind of picked back up. So I'm hoping new growth is going to start soon, and then I will be able to give it a really good fertilize and hope that it just sort of settles down a bit and gets a bit more comfortable in this space. We then have a little kind of, I think it's a pink Spanish lavender, I think, here in between. And then we have the seedless mandarin. The seedless mandarin is definitely, the seedless mandarin and the peach tree did the best with the transplant, which is so, it's funny, isn't it, how things happen. They were the two that I was most worried about, and they have just not even batted an eye. No leaf fall, no sort of drooping leaves. The peach tree looks like it's going to be producing peaches. She is happier now than when she has ever been. But before we go to that point, I wanted to show you the little statue that we purchased. So she is a bird bath, or a water reservoir for birds. So you can see, if I get a little bit closer, she has a little bird perched on her skirt, and her skirt is made of petals. Like, look at her little tiny shoes. The attention to detail on this statue is exceptional. Look at the veining in her skirt, like in the little petal skirt. And like there's little petals on her shirt sleeves, and again, like the veining in here, so well done. So incredibly well done. She is so beautiful and just such a magical addition to this space. I've already mentioned we've got the seedless mandarin. And then just down here, we've got the 2 cascade lily pillies. So this one here was actually a brand new lily pilly, which is why it's looking very happy. This one here is actually a transplant from another area of the property. That is why it is looking a little bit sad. It was very sad in its previous location, and we kind of hoped by moving it that it might bounce back. It has not bounced back yet. It may not. If it doesn't, it is okay. If it doesn't bounce back, I'm thinking between you and me that that is where the avocado tree may go, but we will definitely see. This was the other Washington navel orange. That's the third Washington navel, but it was also transplanted and she struggled. She basically lost pretty much all of her leaves, and she had fruit and flowers when we moved her. So again, if you've been following along, you'll know I pulled off all of that so that she had the best chance at producing a new root system and new growth. But I do feel over the last couple of weeks, hopefully you can see, like, I feel like this is all new growth now. So I think she's stabilized, which is positive, and is on the mend. Very, very happy about that. And then just down through here, we've got the little, I am in a bathrobe because I have like proper clothes on, but it's freezing out here at the moment. It's quite late and there are mosquitoes. So I'm trying to sort of just cover up as much as I can. But this is going to be my sort of little berry corner. So I've popped my sunshine blue blueberry here. I want to get a second one, and I want to get Atherton raspberries. I did tell you this all before, so I'm not going to go on about it any further, but that's what these 3 pots are. And then we have the cut flower bed. This is just, I've never ever done this before in a garden. I've never had a bed just for cut flowers. This is a complete learning curve for me. I've never even planted cut flowers before. So we're just going to kind of wait and see together. This will be an experience for all of us. But I am very pleased to say a lot of the seeds are already coming up. So you can see this front row here is coming up, this row here is coming up, and the back row, if I zoom in a little bit there, hopefully you can see just here, these ones are starting to come up as well. So I am holding out hope that in maybe another month or 2, I might actually be getting some gorgeous blooms through here, and I'll be able to bring out my little harvest basket and cut fresh flowers from my very own garden. Yeah, that'll be such a joy to be able to do that. So I really do hope that this works. If it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. I'll probably repurpose this space for fruit trees, but I'd love to just trial it and see how it goes. I think it will definitely bring me a lot of joy if it works and if it's easy for me to maintain. Now, I did say I was going to show you this, so I just wanted to quickly show you down here. So each of the citrus have one of those. That is their own little individual emitter for the irrigation system, just to make sure that they get sufficient amounts of water. And then again, we've got that gorgeous sandstone border. You saw today we popped the pillar in. I think that's going to be so helpful in the coming months, and I can just see myself with my little harvest basket coming out here, popping it on there, and then harvesting, you know, fresh cut flowers or fruit or berries, even potentially blooms from my wild roses. I think it's, yeah, I can see it. I just need to persevere and keep positive thoughts that it's all going to work out and everything is going to bounce back. So I'm very happy with that pillar, and I just think, I can't remember if I said this to you already, but I think that colorway in that pillar complements this the statue. It's like they were made for each other. Like, look at that color. Perfection, absolute perfection. So again, along this bed here, we've got some lavender, we've got the powder puff perfections, then we've got the white Banksia wild climbing rose, who is doing so well. She is just growing. I think she probably grows like 3 centimeters every day. She's got all new growth coming out. She's like very, very happy in this position, and they grow quite prolifically. So I'm hopeful that in the years to come, she will kind of grow here, and I'm going to train her across to this one. And then we've got the yellow Banksia rose in here. Then I'm going to try and train both of them around onto this back fence. And I think that that would just be magical. Absolutely magical. But that'll obviously take a lot of time. But she's doing really well. We've got a little tiny lavender at the back. And then we have Miss Peachtree here, who none of us thought were going to make it. We all thought she was just, too sensitive to be transplanted. But here she is, completely leafing out. She is covered in blooms, as you can see. Very, very pretty kind of ruffly blooms. The peach blossoms. You can see over there at the back, she's getting another one. So I think she's just going to continue to just be super, super happy here. And we may even get peaches. Who knows? The other thing that I did today was pop in this stepping stone, as you saw earlier. It just means that I can get across to the yellow Banksia rose if I need to deadhead. Similar with the powder puffs, I need to do some deadheading in here. So we've got the 2 powder puffs, we've got a lavender here, and then we've got the yellow Banksia. Now, the yellow Banksia started off, you'll remember when we planted them, it started off like half the size to the white one. So it has not grown, it does not appear to have grown as much as the white one. But I think it started behind the white one anyway. So it has definitely put on growth, and there is definitely new leaves in there. So I think it's happy, and I think it's doing really well. And then in future, should it come to pass, I may get a little dwarf apple tree, and she may go here. Don't quote me on that. It may not happen, and the orchard as it is may, this might be it. I'll get my berries and that will be all. But I am doing a little bit of investigation about the apple tree and an avocado tree, both dwarf varieties, obviously. All the fruit trees in this orchard are dwarf trees. But yeah, so this is the transformation complete. But this space is certainly not done by any means. I don't think anything is ever truly kind of complete or done in the garden. Everything always changes, everything always evolves. And I mean, as we've already talked about today, like the amount of things, the amount of ideas and plans and changes I've thought about already that will be coming, in future. But that is the orchard. I cannot believe it. It's just, when you spend so much time, like weeks and weeks, working on something, and then even when I'm not here working on it, I was thinking about it and researching, and you're investing so much of your thought and time into something, and then to see it finally come together and be so unbelievably happy with it. I cannot tell you how happy I am with this space. I hope you think it looks really good as well. I'm unbelievably happy with it. Well, I think we might leave this one here. I might bid you farewell and good night. I'm going to say farewell now, but as I said, I will pop back out a little bit later on once it is properly dark, and I will show you those solar lights all lit up so you can see that as well. I think they're going to be magical. I think it's going to be quite enchanting, the whole thing. But yes, so as always, thank you so much for joining me and for subscribing and, tuning in each week and watching the videos. I enjoy it so much, and I enjoy sharing these sorts of things with you so much. I think of you all as friends, and that's kind of how I, when I do my videos, that's what I think of. I'm just sharing it like I would share with any of my friends. So I hope you will join me in Friday's video. We actually have a little bit of a change of pace in Friday's video. Given all the gardening content, this one is going to not involve any gardening, which is lovely. A little bit of change for myself. It's been a lot of gardening with, spring coming in and trying to get the garden ready for summer and that. There's been a lot of gardening for me to do, and I know there's been a lot of gardening content for you. So it might be a nice change of pace for both of us to kind of just get away for a couple of days. So that will be coming on Friday. And then, I think I have mentioned this to you already, but I do already have another project. I've started to collect a few bits and pieces for that. It is actually it's another large scale project, but I think I am going to need external trades and things as well. And let me tell you, trying to get trades at the moment is very, very challenging. So I'm going to keep that project a little bit of a secret for now, but you will definitely be seeing the beginnings of that in the coming weeks. So subscribe to see that. That is going to be all from me. Thank you again so much. I'll see you in the next one. Good night.